liebe es ist Abend-Session. Vielleicht sieht man es. Ich habe meinen Bart fast komplett gekürzt. Jetzt in dem Licht sieht man es fast gar nicht mehr. Holy shit. Ich sehe fast schon aus wie normaler. Ja. Beicht-Session. Ich habe meine Morgen-Session nicht gemacht, weil ich lieber schlafen und weil ich keinen richtigen Rhythmus kann. Und weil ich sage, ja, ich mache es dann zum Mittag und ja, ich mache es dann und ja, ich mache es. Just a bunch of excuses. Richtig schwach, deshalb locke ich jetzt in Hard. Nehemiah 3:13. The valley gate was repaired by the people from Zanoah, led by Hanun. They set up its doors and installed its bolts and bars. They also repaired 1,500 feet of wall to the dung gate. The dung gate was repaired by Malchijah, son of Rechab, the leader of Beth Hakerem district. He rebuilt it, set up its doors, and installed its bolts and bars. The fountain gate was repaired by Shalom, son of Kol Hodse, the leader of Mizpah district. He rebuilt it, roofed it, set up its doors, and installed its bolts and bars. Then he repaired the wall of the pool of Siloam, near the king's garden, and he rebuilt the walls as far as the stairs that descend from the city of David. Next to him was Nehemiah, son of Azbuk, the leader of half the district of Beth Zur. He rebuilt the wall from the place across from the tombs of David's family as far as the water reservoir in the house of the warriors. Next to him, repairs were made by a group of Levites working under the supervision of Rehum, son of Bani. Then came Hashabiah, the leader of half the district of Keilah, who supervised the building of the wall on behalf of his own district. Next down the line were his countrymen, led by Binui, son of Hedanad, the leader of the other half of the district of Keilah. Next to him, Ezer, son of Jeshua, the leader of Mizpah, repaired another section of wall across from the ascent of the armory, near the angle in the wall. Next to him was Baruch, son of Zabai, who zealously repaired an additional section from the angle to the door of the house of Eliashib the high priest. Meremoth, son of Uriah and grandson of Hakos, rebuilt another section of the wall, extending from the door of Eliashib's house to the end of the house. The next repairs were made by the priests from the surrounding region. After them, Benjamin and Hashub repaired the section across from their house, and Azariah, son of Maaseiah, the grandson of Ananiah, repaired the section across from his house. Next was Binui, son of Henadad, who rebuilt another section of the wall from Azariah's house to the angle on the corner. Palal, son of Utsai, carried on the work from a point opposite the angle and the tower that projects up the king's upper house besides the court of the guard. Next to him were Pedaiah, son of Parosh, with the temple servants living on the hill of Ophel, who repaired the wall as far as a point across from the water gate to the east and the projecting tower. Thanking the people of Tekoa, who repaired another section across from the great projection tower and over to the wall of Ophel. Above the horse gate, the priests repaired the wall. Each one repaired the section immediately across from his own house. Next, Zadok, son of Immer, also rebuilt the wall across from his own house, and beyond him was Shemaiah, son of Shechaniah, the gatekeeper of the east gate. Next, Hananiah, son of Shelemiah, and Hanun, the sixth son of Zalaph, repaired another section, while Meshulam, son of Berechiah, rebuilt the wall across from where he lived. Malchijah, one of the goldsmiths, repaired the wall as far as the housing from the temple servants and merchants, across from the inspection gate. Then he continued as far as the upper room at the corner. The other goldsmiths and merchants repaired the wall from that corner to the gate, to the sheep gate. Enemies opposed the rebuilding. Nehemiah 4. Sanballat was very angry when he learned that we were rebuilding the wall. He flew into a rage and mocked the Jews, saying in front of his friends and the Samaritan army officers, "What do these bunch of poor, feeble Jews think they're doing? Do they think they can build a wall in a single day by just offering a few sacrifices? Do they actually think they can make something of stone from a rubbish heap and charred ones at that?" Tobiah the Ammonite, who was standing beside him, remarked that stone wall would collapse if even a fox walked along the top of it. Then I prayed, "Here is our God, for we are being mocked. May their scoffing fall back on their own heads, and may they themselves become captives in a foreign land. Do not ignore their guilt. Do not blot out their sins, for they have provoked you to anger here in front of the builders." At last the wall was completely to half its height around the entire city, for the people had worked with enthusiasm. But when Sanballat and Tobiah and the Arabs, Ammonites, and Ashdodites heard that the work was going ahead and that the gaps in the wall of Jerusalem were being repaired, they were furious. They all made plans to come and fight against Jerusalem and throw us into confusion. But we prayed to our God and guarded the city day and night to protect ourselves. Then the people of Judah began to complain. "The workers are getting tired, and there is so much rubble to be moved. We will never be able to build the wall by ourselves." Meanwhile, our enemies were saying, "Before they know what's happening, we will swoop down on them and kill them and their work." The Jews who lived near the enemy came and told us again and again, "They will come from all directions and attack us." So I placed armed guards behind the lowest parts of the wall in the exposed areas. I stationed the people to stand guard by families, armed with swords, spears, and bows. Then, as I looked over the situation, I called together the nobles and the rest of the people and told them, "Don't be afraid of the enemy. Remember the Lord who is great and glorious, and fight for your brothers. Remember the Lord who is great and glorious, and fight for your brothers, your sons and your daughters, your wives and your homes." When our enemies heard what we knew of their plans and that God had frustrated them, we all returned to our work on the wall. But from then on, only half my men worked, while the other half stood guard with spears, shield bows, and coats of mail. The leaders stationed themselves behind the people of Judah, who were building the wall. The laborers carried on their work, with one hand supporting their load with the other hand, holding a weapon. All the builders had a sword belted to their side. The trumpeter started with me to sound the alarm. Then I explained to the nobles, officials, and all the people, "The work is very spread out along the wall. When you hear the blast of the trumpet, rush to wherever is sounding, when our God will fight for us." We worked early and late, from sunrise to sunset, and half the men were always on guard. I also told everyone living outside the walls to stay in Jerusalem. That way, they and their servants could help with guard duty at night and work during the day. During this time, none of us, not I, nor my relatives, nor my servants, nor the guards who were with me, ever took off our clothes. We carried our weapons with us at all times, even when we went for water. Nehemiah defends the oppressed. About this time, some of the men and their wives raised a cry to protect against their fellow Jews. They were saying, "We have such large families. We need more food to survive." Others said, We have mortgaged our fields, vineyards, and homes to get food during the famine. Another said, we have had to borrow money on our fields and vineyards to pay our taxes. We belong to the same family as those who are wealthy, and our children are just like theirs. We must sell our children into slavery just to get enough money to live. We've already sold some of our daughters, and we are helpless to do anything about it, for our fields vineyards are already mortgaged to others. When I heard their complaints, I was very angry. After thinking it over, I spoke out against the nobles and officials. I told them, you're hurting your own relatives by charging interest when they borrow money. Then I called a public meeting to deal with the problem. At the meeting I said to them, we are doing all we can to redeem our Jewish relatives who have had to sell themselves to pagan foreigners. But you are selling them back into slavery again. How often must we redeem them? They had nothing to say in their defense. Then I pressed further, what are you doing is not right. You should not walk in the fear of our God in order to avoid being mocked by enemy nations. I myself, as well as my brothers and my workers, have been lending the people money and grain, but now let us stop this business of charging interest. You must restore their fields and vineyards and olive groves and homes to them this very day, and repay the interest you charged them. You lent them money, grain, new wine, and olive oil. They replied, we will give back everything and demand nothing more from the people. We will do as you say. Then I called the priests and made the nobles and officials swear to do what they had promised. I shook out the folds of my robe and said, if you fail to keep your promise, may God shake you like this from your homes and from your property. The whole assembly responded, Amen, and they praised the Lord. And the people did as they had promised. For the entire 12 years that I was governor of Judah, from the 20th year to the 30th year of the reign of King Artaxerxes, neither I nor my officials drew on our official food allowance. The former governors, in contrast, had laid heavy burdens on the people, demanding a daily ration of food and wine besides 40 pieces of silver. Even their assistants took advantage of the people. But because I feared God, I did not act this way. I also devoted myself to working on the wall and refused to acquire any land. And I required all my servants to spend time working on the wall. I asked for nothing, even though I regularly fed 150 Jewish officials at my table, besides all the visitors from the other lands. The provisions I paid for each day included 1 ox, 6 sheep and goats, and a large number of poultry. And every 10 days we needed a large supply of all kinds of wine, yet I refused to claim the governor's food allowance, because the people already carried a heavy burden. Remember, O my God, that all I have done for those people, and bless me for it. Continue opposition to rebuild. Nehemiah 6. Sanballat, Tobiah, Geshem the Arab, and the rest of our enemies found out that I had finished rebuilt the wall, and there are no gaps remained. Though we had not yet set up the doors and the gates, so Sanballat and Geshem sent a message asking me to meet them at once at one of the villages in the plain of Ono. But I realized they were plotting to harm me, so I replied by sending this message to them. I'm engaged in a great work, so I can't come. Why should I stop working to come and meet with you? 4 times they sent me the same message, and each time I gave the same reply. The 5th time, Sanballat's servant came with an open letter in his hand, and this is what it said. There is a rumor among the surrounding nations, and Geshem tells me it is true. that you and the Jewish are planning to rebel, and this is what you're building the wall. According to his reports, you plan to be their king. He also reports that you have appointed prophets in Jerusalem to proclaim about you. Look, there is a king in Judah. You can be very sure that this report will get back to the king, so I suggest you come and talk it over with me. I replied, there is no such truth in any part of your story. You are making up the whole thing. That we're just trying to They're just trying to intimidate us, imagining what they could discourage us and stop the work. So I continued the work with even greater determination. Later I went to visit Shemaiah, son of Delaiah, the grandson of Mehetabel, who was confined to his home. He said, let us meet together inside the temple of God and bolt the doors shut. Your enemies are coming to kill you tonight. But I replied, should someone in my position run from danger? Should someone in my position enter the temple to save his life? No, I won't do it. I realized that God had not spoken to him, but he had uttered this prophecy against me because Tobiah and Sanballat had hired him. They were hoping to intimidate me and make me sin. Then they would be able to accuse me and discredit me. Remember, O God, all the evil things that Tobiah and Sanballat have done, and remember Noadiah, the prophet, and all the prophets like her, who have tried to intimidate her. The builders complete the wall. So on October 2nd, the wall was finished, just 52 days after we had begun. Then our enemies and the surrounding nations heard about it. They were frightened and humiliated. They realized this work had been done with the help of our God. During those 52 days, many letters went back and forth between Tobiah and the nobles of Judah, for many in Judah had sworn allegiance to him because his father-in-law was Shechaniah, son of Erah, and his son Jehohanan was married to the daughter of Meshulam, son of Berechiah. They kept telling me about Tobiah's good deeds, and then they told him everything I said. And Tobiah kept sending threatening letters to intimidate me. Nehemiah 7. After the wall was finished and I had set up the doors and the gates, the gatekeepers, singers, and Levites were appointed. I gave the responsibility of governing Jerusalem to my brother Hanai, along with Hananiah, the commander of the fortress, who was a faithful man who feared God more than most. I said to them, do not leave the gates open during the hottest part of the day. Even whilst the gatekeepers are on duty, have them shut and bar the doors. Appoint the residents of Jerusalem to act as guards, everyone on a regular watch. Some will serve at sentry posts and some in front of their own homes. Nehemiah registers the people. At that time the city was large and spacious, but the population was small, and none of the houses had been rebuilt. So my God gave me the idea to call together all the nobles and leaders of the city, along with the ordinary citizens, for registration. I had found the genealogical records of those who had first returned to Judah. This is what was written there. Here's a list of the Jewish exiles, the provinces who returned from their captivity. King Nebuchadnezzar had deported them to Babylon, but now they returned to Jerusalem and the other towns in Judah, where they originally lived. Their leaders were Zerubbabel, Jeshua, Nehemiah, Seraiah, Reliah, Nehemani, Mordecai, Bilshan, Mispah, Bigvai, Rehum, and Baana. This is the number of the men of Israel who returned from exile. The family of Parosh, the family of Shephatiah, the family of Arab, the family of Pahath Moab, descendants of Jeshua and Moab, the family of Elam, the family of Zattu, the family of Zakkai, the family of Bani, the family of Bebai, the family of Asgad, the family of Adonikam, the family of Bigvai, the family of Aden, the family of Eter, the family of Hashum, the family of Bezai, the family of Gora, the family of Gibah, the people of Bethlehem and Netophah, the people of Anatoth, the people of Beth Atzmaveth, the people of Kiriath Jearim, Kephira and Beeroth, the people of Ramah and Geba, the people of Michmash, the people of Bethel and Ai, the people of West Nebo, the citizens of West Elam, the citizens of Haram, the citizens of Jericho, the citizens of Lod, Hadid and Ono, the citizens of Sina. These are the priests who returned from exile. The family of Jediah, through the line of Jeshua, 973, the family of Immer, 1052, the family of Pashur, 1247, the family of Harim, 1017. So this was supposed to be 17:04 a.m. I'll go take a shower. Or should I do part 2 now? Let me think about it first.